One. All right. So we're officially starting this. You've cracked the bapple. I'm gonna go with some London Dry Gin. Welcome to the episode 0.
Fucking thing is so skunked.
Welcome to episode 0 of the Beers and Buddies podcast. Only one of us is drinking a beer. It is the king of beers.
The Busch Light Apple. It's not fucking Budweiser. Get that pussy shit out of here.
That is the true king of beers. The
We only
absolute
drink Bapples
true
here.
king of beers right now is, how we're doing this.
So we're introducing ourselves and shit.
Yeah, we'll introduce ourselves. This is, again, episode 0. We are working through the kinks. I'll let you go first.
All right. I'm Footy, also called Chris Foot, but no one calls me that. So I get called Footy. I'm a Browns fan. I live in Massachusetts. I make no sense. I'm a Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, Browns. I do fuck with the Pats right now. But the Browns will always have an unfortunate soft spot in my heart, and I don't know how I'm still breathing because of them.
Well, and I'm the other Chris. I go by Chris. I've laid claim to that, whether I wanted to or not. I might have had it beaten.
Chris number 2, as some may say.
Yeah, I might have had that beaten into me when I was a kid by my co-host here. Again, I'm up in New England as well. So I'm a obviously Boston fan, but I'm a diehard Carolina Panthers fan. If you've seen prime Cam Newton, you kind of can understand why. As much as it still doesn't make sense.
We had everything at our fingertips, and we just chose for football.
We chose hell.
For football, we chose literally mega hell or super hell. And I chose super hell. You just chose mega hell.
Hell yeah.
What is the Super Bowl? How's that like?
Oh,
what's a playoff win?
What's a playoff win? What's a playoff game feel like?
Am I right, Pittsburgh? What's a playoff win?
I'm telling you right now, I watched that game that Saturday. Holy, I think I got a heart monitor going, and it was like, you're having a heart attack.
Dude, this entire past weekend was actually peak cinema. But that Steelers game.
Quite literally, I heard about wildcard weekend was that it was wild, and I was telling you, here's my hot take. Dog shit. It was a dog shit weekend. Outside of the first 2 games, absolute ass football. I'm telling you right now, right? So you got there because they stuck them at 4:30. They stuck the one game that everyone went. It's a 10.5 point spread. The Rams are going to.
I knew you guys were going to make that close. You beat them already.
I
had the Rams winning, but I thought the Panthers had a decent chance, a lot better chance than everyone else thought.
That's all I wanted. All I wanted was a close game. I did.
You
not
guys
need them
were winning that game at one point
until we decided that was. But look, the first game, just almost the biggest upset in NFL history happened in the very first game. They put the game that everyone thought was going to be a 10-point, 30-point blowout in the crap thing, and it ended up being probably the best game, or the second, if not one of the better games, wild card weekend. And then we get to a later Saturday game where the Bears just went, Green Bay, get the Graders.
What a fucking game. Caleb Williams. Iceman. He is. I honestly have him as one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, top 5, 100%.
I would say
I put him top 5 over Trevor Lawrence. That's a hot take going around.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is anywhere close to a top 5 quarterback. He's top 10, but I'd have Caleb at 6.
I have Caleb in my 5.
I think he can make an argument for me to get into 5, but my top 5.
I'm doing current players too, not like anyone who's been in. So I'm not counting Mahomes. So I'm not really counting Burrow this year.
Right now in the playoffs, in the playoffs, I'm arguing Caleb is the second best quarterback in the playoffs.
I still think Drake May is a better quarterback.
Oh, well, yeah.
Than Matthew Stafford.
No, Stafford's purely going to win MVP just because of the argument of May had a better touchdown and that May had an easier schedule. That's the only negative I've seen against it.
You want to know what my counter argument to that is? if Drake May's schedule is so easy, why did the Rams lose to the Falcons and the Panthers while the Pats put BTA on them?
BTA. I mean, they almost lost. The Pats almost did lose to the Falcons. That's because they just,
They
decided
put
to kick
BTA
their
on the
feet up.
Panthers, though. That
No,
wasn't
no,
even a
I was at that
competition.
game. It was we scored the first touchdown. I was so happy, and then
I remember texting you. I'm like, at least it's not your birthday.
No, but I guess back to it. The first two games of Wild Card Weekend, absolute cinema. Just I went, okay, great. And then you got the first afternoon game was that Bills-Jags game.
I thought that was pretty good for what it was.
I did not. I
thought it was decent.
From coming from the Saturday games, I was like, it's a back and forth game. The only thing in that game was which quarterback was going to crap the bed first. Because, I don't.
It's Josh Allen, man.
It's Josh Allen.
You got to root for Josh Allen in these playoffs, dude. He has to. No, there's no Mahomes. There's no Mahomes,
Burrow. There's no Jackson.
Say there's no Lamar because he owns Lamar in the playoffs. That's a fact. But still, I'm so sick of people putting that.
I watched that game and I went, none of it kept me watching. And then you get to the Eagles 49ers game, and that was just I get if we're going to talk about bad divisions, and everyone will point to the NFC South as the terrible division, the NFC East was dog because the Eagles did not deserve to win 10 games.
Oh my god,
they deserve to be on the road.
That's what everyone's saying about Dallas. Like Dallas is just a NFC East merchant. That's what the Eagles are becoming. I honestly think my favorite team out of the entire NFC East this past season was the Giants.
And they won.
They won four games. They won
the
4 games. They didn't have Malik Neighbors or Cam Scatterbo for a majority of the season. But they just had a huge hiring.
They just hired John
Harbaugh.
We'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
But and then, the Patriots and Chargers game was just
defensive cinema, in my opinion. A defensive cinema.
You got the people's MVP. Let's put it out there. He's the people's MVP.
Drake May.
Versus Super If and Justin Herbert.
If man.
The greatest if to ever walk. If he has his 2 left tackles, he wins the game.
So who am I to say anything?
He is, and I would say this. I would still take Justin Herbert over Bryce, and Bryce just balled out. Purely,
I like Bryce. Bryce is likable.
The problem with Justin Herbert is at some point, if the Chargers make it next year, at some point you got to stop going. If he has these things, because
if his offensive tackles weren't injured,
if his receivers caught the ball, if his defense could,
if he had an extra second,
yeah.
I've seen all the arguments online.
He's just
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because that team is so talented, but their offensive line is so abysmal, and they were all hurt all season. Rashawn Slater's one of the best offensive tackles in the league right now, along with Joe Alt.
And then you get to the last game of Wild Card Weekend, the Steelers and the Texans.
Oh, what?
I watched that game, and I was just sitting there going, it's a 7-6 game. I was like, fine. and then 2 things happened. Someone needed to call the police because what we just saw there was elder abuse. when their number one receiver, when a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers is thrown to 35-year-old Adam Thielen, and Adam Thielen is their best receiving target, there's a problem. Because
did DK not catch a cold in that weather? What the hell is going on
DK
there?
dropped 1 pass, and Aaron Rodgers went, not throwing to you
ever again, dog.
He pulled an Aaron Rodgers. He just stopped trusting his best receiver and went, and then you had goddamn Arthur Smith going, I'm going to hand the ball off. And I went, against that front seven and linebacker, you have Aziz Al-Shahir who headhunts quarterbacks, and you're going to let Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell go? Nah.
They really let that game get away.
Yeah, and then,
they were in it. It was 7-6.
And then Rodgers threw a pick 6. Oh no, sorry. Then the Texans win, then Rodgers threw a pick 6.
And worse after that.
But
I loved it. I love seeing it happen. Why? It's a tradition to film your old ass Steelers quarterback losing in the wild card game after a defense just put belt to ass on you because you deserve it. Also, well, I'll bring this up later. I've been a Steelers hater my whole life.
Oh,
they break my boy Nick Chubb's knee. I'm legally obligated to put my hands on a Steelers player and fans. Anyone associated with those people, I
There's one
have to
person
beat
off
you up.
limits. There's one person, one person.
I don't beat up women. I'll put it that simply. I don't touch women like that unless
I
they
tolerate
ask
the
me
Steelers.
to.
I'll throw a Steelers game on
Hell no.
purely because on the off chance that they decide to play football, it's a pretty entertaining game. Like
TJ Watt's mid.
yeah, no,
I think he's done.
oh,
I think he's done.
We'll
That's my
cover
hot take.
that later. But I think they're tearing that thing to the ground. The only person I
Cameron
would have
Hayward's
on the
gonna
team is Cam
retire.
Hayward, but that's just because I want him to retire. He's the one guy you kind of need to retire as a Steeler.
Crybaby Cam.
Yeah,
Hate that
but
guy.
divisional round this weekend. You got both one seeds finally get off the couch.
Finally. And one of them's more exciting than the other.
Yeah, and I think the Seattle 49ers game is going to be pretty interesting.
It could go either way. It's been like that all year. The same way if it was the Eagles, Seahawks, Rams.
Well, I mean, if you think about it this way, it's Sam Darnold gets to reprove himself after just absolutely laying a goose egg with Minnesota last year.
That team sucked.
I mean, he's got an easier path now because he doesn't have to play the Rams defense. As much as I think the Rams defense is somewhat fraudulent, they know how to play Sam Darnold, which is quite literally just run at him and he gets scared.
Bring the pressure, dude. Their offense, they have their right guards has as many brain cells as a rock. So
oh my God. No, but
I've never seen someone block air more in my whole life than this guy. I don't even know his name.
Anthony Bradford?
Yes, probably him, the big fat dude who just sits there like a Snorlax.
Oh, you mean Mussolini Bradford?
Yeah, the Snorlax. He just sits there and just doesn't move.
Fucking just stands there. But
it's like throwing KP out there, dude. It's a big body.
Just a big body take up space. Big body go Bert.
Get in the way if you can.
Well, the game I think is probably going to be the best game of divisional round is Bears-Rams.
I was just about to say, I think it's going to be Bears-Rams. Next game, I'd have to put Broncos-Bills.
Broncos-Bills. Because I think the Texans-Patriots is going to be just what we saw from both
defensive
teams,
slugfest.
Which is like, it's going to be a 16-13 game. And the only thing I would lean towards potentially the Texans winning this purely for their defense.
Purely based off their defense. I still think that offense is absolutely horrible.
Exactly.
I think the Patriots' offense is infinitely better. I can't even believe the Patriots are only 3-point favorites in this game. I think the Patriots could be like 6-point favorite, to be honest.
Because the Patriots don't have if I'm Vrabel, my entire practice schedule this week is I don't care about the offense. You guys can either complete passes, run, whatever.
I would be blocking on the offense.
It's just we're gonna show like. If I'm Vrabel, I'm going on the street, going to McDonald's, finding whatever big back is sitting in line waiting for his, McRib, and just say we're gonna run 13 personnel basically.
Yeah,
is what we're gonna run, and just stack everything. You're not gonna touch us, and we're just gonna put Kayshon Boutte or Stephon Diggs as the only receiver. He's going to be 5 yards off the offensive line, and we're just going to do a 5. We're just going to do dink and dunks. We're going to do the old Brady dink and dunk for half the game. But it's going to be if Vrabel's entire game plan should quite literally just be defense for CJ Stroud to play football.
Yeah.
Just force him to play football.
For the Patriots, it just comes down to Will Campbell sealing off that blind side against Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter. That pass rush is absolutely lethal. Two of the best edge rushers in the entire league. Daniel Hunter's underrated. I always liked him for his whole career. And Will Anderson's just a dog, dude. He will absolutely wreck your game plan if you do not get a body on him.
If you do not,
and Will Campbell has struggled against a lot of the good pass rushers this year, and that was proven when he went against Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and Khalil Mack last week against the Chargers. He was getting shoved around. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Last week he was injured a little bit, coming off an injury, but it's a rookie, man.
It's a rookie, but
in the league for years.
The Texans are going to exploit him, so I have a feeling the Patriots will send help his way, whether it's a running back chip or a guard help. or just
Rest
basically for
Hunter
it.
Henry there too.
But I mean, the one key for the Patriots offensively is that the Texans suck at defending scrambles. They
Mm-hmm.
just
And
suck
Drake
at
make
it,
a move.
and Drake make and run. But
RPO.
but that Rams Bears game, I think, and I don't think the Bears. I don't think either of these teams can win the Super Bowl this year. Hot take. I don't think
That's
the
a
Rams
hot
can.
take.
I don't think the Rams can. And I know
I don't think the Rams can
because
either, honestly.
if you because I'm looking at this, I'm looking at all the teams. The only team who I don't think will put up a good game against the Rams in the Super Bowl is the Bills, and that's purely because they don't have big receivers.
That's a good, and their big
Because
receiver sucks.
the way the Panthers almost beat them and then beat them in the regular season was the Panthers
The
have
corners are big.
Their top two wide receivers on the offense are 6'3" and 6'4". And the Panthers just threw crossers. And when the Rams' number one corner is Emmanuel Forbes, just throw crossers.
That's not really good.
No,
you could beat him with your speed, fade, crosser, corner, anything.
They'll try and stick him in the slot. Doesn't matter. He can't defend. The only thing he can defend, he barely can defend from a cold. But like
that's good.
Call him Swiss cheese. He's got holds.
Nah, literally.
Like that's the only team. The Bills are the only team I don't think could play well against the Rams. Like the Patriots, I think could.
I think just the Patriots have a good chance.
Texans will just put Matt Stafford in an absolute blender and force him to make quick decisions. Seahawks, we saw it before this. Yes, the Rams beat them once and the Seahawks beat them the second time, but that would be a really good NFC championship matchup.
That would be a good game. That's
part 3. The 49ers, despite their defense, McCaffrey's just
could be pretty good.
McCaffrey should just win all these.
He's just sacrificing everybody. He sacrificed George Kittle last week.
At this point, I would not be shocked.
Gave me your Achilles and ACLs.
Yeah,
he's doing dark magic in his
fucking
basement every week.
He sacrificed Megatron. He sacrificed George Kittle.
He sacrificed
Brandon Ayuk's career.
Yeah, he's sacrificing all of his cracker fellows.
Blue eyes, white boys over there. But yeah,
honestly, I think the Texans have the worst chance against the Rams, Chris, and it's only because of their offense. Their offensive line is terrible. Laramie Tunsil sucks.
There are not many teams. There are 3 teams I do not want to see in this Super Bowl. With
the
all
Texans
my
are
heart.
One of them.
The Texans, the Broncos, and the 49ers.
I think
because the Broncos are in a similar boat as the Texans, where their offense is better than the Texans, but their offense is still meh. And what you don't want to happen is have a Rams Broncos Super Bowl where it's 6-3. Like,
I do not want another Patriots Rams Super Bowl.
No,
that was
I want a Patriots
at the time, but
I want honestly, a Patriots Bears one. Bring back the old 1980s.
I think I have the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl and the Pats going. But I gotta put this out there. If the Bills don't win the AFC Championship, someone in Buffalo will be leaving, and it will be Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott will be getting kicked out of Buffalo if he does not seal the deal in the AFC Championship. There's no Mahomes. There's no Joe Burrow.
There's no excuse.
There's nothing.
Because you can't even give him the excuse of, well, he doesn't have receivers. It's like, great. Neither does
Drake May, really.
Drake May's best receiver is Stephon Diggs.
The Bears are working with what they got. The Niners are working with what they got.
And at some point, you got to stop making the excuses for Josh Allen. Yes, I think it's Sean McDermott, because transitioning to kind of our next topic, head coaching vacancies. There are so many good candidates this year that if the Bills lose this year, I would fire McDermott, and the guy I'm hiring is the guy in Seattle. I think Clint Kubiak could be a stellar head coach for Josh Allen. If not, stay in house and bring in Joe Brady. He could also be a decent, head coach, because he knows that the system wouldn't change. But we had, from a head coaching, how many teams are there so far that need head coaching? Steelers got rid of Mike Tomlin, which we'll talk about.
Ravens.
Ravens, Titans. I'm surprised the Bengals aren't
Dolphins.
open, but because one's already been filled, and
Yeah.
Harbaugh took
Cardinals.
the
Okay, I got it pulled up.
yeah
Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns, Falcons. That's shocking. Steelers, Titans, Giants just got filled. Raiders, and then the Ravens. The Ravens have the best one. I don't know why the Raiders are put so high. That their defense is terrible. Everything about that team is just ugly. Besides Ashton Genty, even Brock Bowers is ugly because he has
yeah
Hitler throwing him the ball, and I know he's Hitler because I had Brock Bowers in fantasy for 6 weeks.
same here. Absolutely
I
killed my
traded
season.
him.
I had the
Absolutely awful.
number one overall pick to 9th in the league. Thank you, Joe Burrow and Brock Bowers.
Thank you guys so much.
No, my top opening was already filled, and I thought it was the Giants.
The Giants, like we already said this. I don't know if it was on off pod or not, but probably the most fun team to watch this year was that 4
and they'll probably be fun
Giants
next year.
And when they get Malik back, week 6, week 5-ish, they'll have Cam Scattaboo. Their draft is going to be pretty good, especially now that they have John Harbaugh. I don't really think John Harbaugh was even issuing Baltimore.
No.
Because when you look at it, it's just Mark Andrews fumble, the Zay Flowers fumble. It's just turnovers. It's
they
the
just
offense. They got
screwed
players.
by the football
It's
guys.
their superstars just can't handle the pressure. And Mark Andrews is getting old. They signed him a way too big of a contract.
And they're most likely going to let Likely walk. Which is a mistake. But to be fair, Isaiah Likely would be a tight end 1 on a lot of teams.
A lot of other teams, and that's what bugs me because Mark Andrews shouldn't even be start a lot of other places.
But yes, the Giants
force feed him the ball.
Yeah, the Giants are going to be super interesting next year with Harbaugh because their 2 biggest priorities, I think, are securing that offensive line and just convincing Jackson Dart to step out of bounds and just say, hey, the white line's your friend in the NFL.
Learn how to slide, dude.
Yeah. I like the tenacity of I'm just going to keep going.
He's not that big, though. He's not like Josh
He's going to take a shot. He's going to take a shot and won't be able to get back up.
I'm shocked that Shaw in New England didn't take him out. He got absolutely cleaned on that scramble in New England.
Exactly.
I'm shocked he got up as quick as he did. So good for him on that. He's a tough kid, but
yeah. And you get Scattaboo back.
Scattaboo, he's all right.
Yeah.
I always liked that kid. I thought he was going to be pretty good on whatever team he went to. Yeah. Didn't think it was going to be crazy, but I thought he would be a lot more reliable than people thought.
Well, yeah, that he went where he should have gone in the draft, which is about 3rd round.
Exactly.
Which is where he should have gone. But the way he played, he did everything for Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
It was the only reason why they came back in that Texas game.
Exactly. But now that my favorite vacancies filled, I would say the Ravens, just genuinely looking at the system, is probably the best. But besides the Ravens, just because you have a generational quarterback and you don't really, it's just basically finding maybe 1 or 2 more positions, and then it clicks.
An actual receiver would be nice. Other than 5'9", 175 pounds Zay Flowers, who can't hold on to a ball if it was his mother's heart or something. If it was a contract, he would have held on to it. But
yeah. I mean, I guess looking at it, and this might be a little shoot myself in the foot a bit, I think the best opening outside of Baltimore might be Atlanta. I mean,
Atlanta, just because of their offensive weapons.
Their offensive weapons, and they found some pretty nice rookies in Jalen Walker. Their 2 first-round rookies, Jalen Walker and James Pierce, are looking like studs.
They're looking pretty solid.
If Penix, you have to figure out the quarterback position. Yes, Penix has been good, but Penix currently has no knees. And if this is his second or 3rd knee injury in his career, and he's almost 27.
He got drafted at 25 years old. And a Browns fan who knows, who wasn't a Browns fan when this happened, but knows the history, you don't draft quarterbacks after the age of 24 years old,
No.
especially in the first round, like the Browns did with some certain name. I can't remember because that's how much it mattered and how much
Like,
impact he
it's
brought
just,
into the league. It's ridiculous. And we'll eventually get into
we'll let
the
Footy yell about the
longevity of
Browns.
some college quarterbacks' careers because, some people are fraudulent, Dylan Gabriel, and get carried by their program's name into a Heisman conversation.
But,
and then get
like,
drafted in the third round.
Michael Penix currently is 25 right now. Entering the season, he'll most likely be 26.
I wouldn't even bother.
Coming off an ACL injury, I think he'd be a
Again.
good intermediate for at least a year, and then you take someone in 2027. Because that 2027 class is going to be stacked for quarterbacks.
Miami's screwed in cap space.
Oh, Miami's screwed. The Browns are just paying Deshaun Weinstein another $136 million.
Hey, you want to know how you get rid of Deshaun
me.
Watson off your team in Madden? You trade him to the Jets for a 7th round pick. That's how you
Or
get rid of him.
And
in reality, the Jets would probably take that. the Jets would probably take that.
I mean, coaching. I mean, the Steelers would be good, but I think you have to do a lot of tearing down of that roster. TJ Watt should be gone. As much as I think Watt should retire a Steeler, he's 32 coming off a pectoral tear. You could probably right now
after that 2023 season.
Right. I mean, right now you probably could get him maybe at most a 3rd round pick if you package him
just because of the name, and the talent.
You got a lot of teams who are pass rush needy, who want veteran,
who need someone solid to seal an edge.
And then I think
one of the most important positions in football right now.
Yeah, you might want to get rid of Alex Highsmith. He might fetch a decent price if you want to move up to get a quarterback.
You could get him for a high 2nd round pick.
Yeah,
maybe late first. That's a strong maybe though.
But that's like they got to do some tearing down. Miami's screwed, and you also got to figure out what they're going to do with Tua. Because I think
Tennessee.
We talking about national? Talking about country?
Listen, for what they have, almost $100 million in cap.
And they have
a quarterback who is the only spotlight on that offense. Okay? That defense, it's all right. Like, they put up a fight against the Rams. They just need a lot of offensive help and some touching up on the defense. And honestly, Cam Ward, dude.
You get him a wide receiver.
Shitting on him.
You get him a wide receiver, he's fine.
This kid, if he gets a solid enough base and team around him, you'll see him making throws like Caleb Williams, like he did against the Packers on the run. Like, he has the talent and the potential, and I always thought he was the best quarterback in the draft. And we'll get into some draft picks.
We'll get into the draft
that later, as I'm currently looking at 2 people right now.
Well, look
at these QBRs. I could throw up in my mouth looking at these QBRs by these 2 guys.
Tennessee's interesting because I think if you kind of just need to get a wide receiver because your running back room is okay.
True number 1.
Right, a true number 1. Tajay Spears good. Tony
Pollard
back
in Tennessee. He's done.
Tony Pollard dropped off, but he's a good RB2, RB3 in case.
Good receiving back.
Yeah, Khalil Mullins is a really good just bruiser, run through the guard, just run through a motherfucker.
But do you want a triple-headed beast in your backfield? Because most people would rather settle for 2 because depends on production.
But to have a successful backfield, I think you need a running back that is a pure speed threat. We've seen I think the best backfield in all of football is Detroit's because you have your pure speed threat and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, and then you have your bruiser and David Montgomery. Now, the way they end up using those 2 is they flip their roles because I don't know if you've watched Detroit games. Jahmyr Gibbs end up running plays that David Montgomery should have ran, and then David Montgomery would break off a 50-yard run because they'd kick him to the outside. What are we doing?
And if you have Jahmyr doing that, he's scoring a touchdown. That's why they were the most disappointing team this year.
I lost in fantasy the 1 week to make the playoffs because Jahmyr Gibbs decided he wanted to put up 65 points, 220 yards,
Jesus
and 4
Christ.
touchdowns. And I was like, well, shit. Like,
that was a really disappointing team this year. Honestly, the Lions there.
Yeah.
Having the same record as 9 in your own division, losing to 9 twice, dude.
Oof.
9. Speaking of 9, better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel.
Would you like to talk about the Browns, buddy?
Segue. I'm getting into it. All right.
Start talking about the Browns. Because first off, hold on. I gotta.
This guy.
Congrats on holding the sack record.
Oh, thank you. Hey man, he called the entire franchise trash this offseason. We threw a fucking Titanic load of money at him, and he was like, "Oh, I love it here."
That is not talked about enough. That is the greatest sports story of the offseason of Myles Garrett.
What a fucking prick!
I want to win a Super Bowl. The Browns going, here's a Deshaun Watson type contract. And he went, well, Cleveland isn't. They're not that racist.
They're not that bad. I like them a little bit.
Orange does look good on me.
Let me get into this.
My girlfriend Chloe Kim decided she wanted.
Yeah, dude. I'm only just one of the best fucking athletes in the world right now. Let me just bitch and moan about everything. Let me get into Dylan Gabriel here.
To be fair, you got a young roster. So that's the one thing that's kind of helping.
Sure, man, but that offensive line is
just saying. Carson Schlesinger and Mason Graham might be a stellar duo.
Hot take: Mason Graham shouldn't have been picked that high.
He should not have. But you know what? For him, for what you got back for it.
So I would have won Jackson Dart if I could.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would have gone Jackson Dart if they could.
I can't fucking stand. All right. Anyways.
So what's your problem with Dylan Gabriel?
Into the guy that Kevin Shitstansky decided to pick over perfect timing. Anyways, let me get into these stats here. 100 completed passes, 185 attempts, 59.5 completion, 937 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. I'm leaving out some things here because this does matter at the pro level. Ooh. So that sounds like decent stats here, right?
His best QBR was 49.6. Ooh.
His QBR on ESPN is a 31.2. But let me get into this average for
kind of looking like he got autism. But that's just
5.1 yards per attempt on catchable balls is fucking awful compared to the top, like any quarterback in this league right now. Dude, Geno Smith had a 7.2 average attempt rating.
I would take Geno Smith's left nut.
I would literally take. So I would take Deshaun Watson over fucking Dylan Gabriel.
Nathan Peterman.
I'd rather take 30-30 fucking Jameis Winston over this fucking guy.
Crab legs?
Dude, I'd rather crab legs.
Yeah, because
I'm doing a full screen of
he'll give you
stats. Hold on.
He'll give you just that one speech for the game where he's like, and the Lord smiled down upon us.
I actually have the craziest stat pull right here. So 5.1 passing average on yards for Dylan Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
6.1 yards per attempt when rushing. How fucking ass carries. Is your arm? How many surgeries? Oh, I'll get into it. So this guy was only drafted at all because he transferred to Oregon, right?
Yeah, he came from Indiana.
He was. Who gives a fuck about them? Anyways,
the Hoosiers.
Who gives a fuck about that Indiana team? We'll talk about Indiana later. But
Big Dick Nettie,
dude, I can't stand the 6-year quarterback coming into the draft like this because Kevin Stefanski only liked him because he was like 6 years in college experience. He was in the Heisman talk.
He's a lefty.
I hate left-handed quarterbacks. Look at Tua. The only good left-handed quarterback I can genuinely
Steve
name
Young.
is Steve Young. Don't say Michael Vick. Michael Vick is mid. Hot take. Mid.
Not a
Lamar
hot take.
Jackson is infinitely better. Cam Newton, infinitely better. Hell, I'm taking Randall Cunningham and
I'm taking
what the hell?
Jamarcus Russell. I would rather have
Hell no.
Jamarcus
Hell no.
Russell
Not over Mike
Dylan.
Vick. Hell no.
No,
Who
over
is
Dylan
it?
Gabriel. Yes, I'm taking
Yeah, dude,
Jamarcus Russell.
I would take a high schooler over Dylan Gabriel.
Foxborough High.
Foxborough High, dude. I would take Drake May's left nut over Dylan Gabriel.
Oh my god!
But let's get into the dude of Shedeur Sanders here.
I think they should have taken Shedeur. I don't think they should have taken him at 5. Now, my feeling is they probably should have taken him in the second round, but then you would have missed out on the defensive rookie of the year in Carson Schlesinger, who
what a stud,
white
what
boy
stud.
of the to take Antonio Brown's thing, cracker of the year.
Cracker of the year for the Browns, dude.
I wanted
the
Panthers to take him.
There, huh?
We had such ass linebackers, and the one guy I wanted them to draft,
Carson Schlesinger,
first pick in the second round.
And if he ever does come back, Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa is on the team, but I have a high doubt that man will play football.
That injury
again.
is
unfortunately it's not as bad as Ryan Shazier, but it's just as bad.
And he was a good
he was a fucking absolute steal in the second round. He was a beast. I fucking hate football. Sometimes. Won't be okay.
Hey, you know the one bright spot about Dylan Gabriel?
Girlfriend's kind of bad.
I was gonna say he's got. Oh no, he doesn't even have a solo tackle. Never mind. He has one total tackle on the season. I was like, oh great, he tackled the guy. Put him out at.
Here, let's get to this man
stick
here.
him out there on punt recovery.
The dude they decided to throw the ball 40 yards 40 times in back-to-back games. Shedeur Sanders, 120 completions, 212 attempts, 56 completed rating, 1,400 yards. 6.6 passing average on catchable balls, 7 touchdowns, unfortunately 10 picks, and a QB rating of a 68.1 and a QBR of 18.9.
He's not, I'll say this, he's not the QB of the future, but I think that's like a no-brainer. He will be. I'm going to say this.
I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him a year. Give him one more year, if not a year and a half. Give him a year. And give him a year because then you can take a guy in 2027.
You didn't make Dylan Gabriel throw the ball 40 times in back-to-back games when you had no reason to do so. Kevin Stefanski has something against this kid. I do not care.
Can I tell you what it is? Because I think it's very obvious.
It's his father.
He just hated the personality and everything around. I hate everything around.
Dad. He hates the baggage coming with it. But we'll give Deshaun Watson the whole fucking Bank of Israel, and that's okay. But God forbid you draft a kid in the third round.
I don't think that was Stefanski. Now, to be fair, I think they should have gotten rid of Andrew Berry. And I love the owner citing why we kept Berry over Stefanski. And it was like he got Malik Collins, and he did this and this. And then I would just be like, he signed off on the Deshaun Watson deal.
He does fucking sink absolute full court shots in the draft. I will give Andrew Berry that. His contracts, though, are fucking insane. How much of a carpet are you going to be to these players? Because
if he gets fired, let's say next year he loses his job, he might be either the top candidate for a GM position or at least an assistant GM position because that man knows how to draft.
Oh, dude.
Just don't give him the keys to the salary cap. Just say, you know what?
Don't give him the keys to the city. Just let him walk in through the door.
As much as I think the Deshaun Watson deal was the Browns owner going, we need to make a splash and Deshaun's fine, Andrew Berry actively, as the general manager, went, here's the cap space to do it. And I think there's about 22 women who would say, I don't think you should have guaranteed that money.
34.
34?
Let's not downplay this number here. I'm sick of as a Browns fan, I don't claim anybody who defends this fucking freak, dude.
Watson.
Diddy Watson, Deshaun Weinstein. Do you know what I had to fucking deal with my friends, dude, shitting on me constantly about this fucking guy. Even to this day, I forgot this guy played football until my friends are just shitting on me about his contract because he's guaranteed $80 million this year.
You know what the funny thing is? The Panthers were just like Malik on the Milton Williams thing this year. The Panthers were 30 minutes away from acquiring a trade for 2 first-round picks for him, and to re-sign him to not like a 60% fully guaranteed. And I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get Deshaun Watson.
He was supposed to go to Atlanta.
He was at Atlanta. Then Atlanta backed out.
To Atlanta.
Well, no. Then Atlanta backed out.
And then he was like, I'm going to Cleveland.
Well, no, Atlanta backed out because he wanted too much money. Carolina was going to get him, and then Cleveland goes, here's the biggest contract in NFL history.
Here's Baker Mayfield.
Here's the key
future for 3 years. Here's everything, motherfucker. Come here and ruin my franchise. You see all these fans that just watched a playoff win happen 2 years ago? They're never seeing a playoff win for the next 8 fucking seasons.
No, but
you can't make this shit up, man.
Going back to Shedeur, I think his ceiling, and I said this during the
fringe starter.
His ceiling is Geno Smith.
Fringe starter.
A guy who, if he finds the right system, he'll start for 2 to 3 years. And he'll be okay. And he'll win, he probably won't win 13 to 14 games, but he'll win 10 to 12 and have a nice little, like a Jameis Winston style Geno Smith career.
25 and 12 season with under 3,500 yards.
But
even if it's that.
But he'll be an excellent backup, and I think the Browns
starter.
I think the Browns should keep him. Now, in all honesty, I think you could, as of right now, get a haul for him, purely because there are a lot of teams that might need a quarterback who are not. Like the one team I thought they could trade him to, then I thought they should trade him to, was Vegas, but Vegas got the number one.
Raiders, yeah.
I was like halfway through the season, I was like, he's a Brady guy. Just send him to Vegas for a third.
Since Andrew Luck.
When I played Madden, I'd do a Browns rebuild. He's the first, at the start of the season, he's the first person I'd trade. I'd
Watson as mine.
Well, I'd just trade him to the Jets for a 7th. But this is the actual first trade. I was like, I need picks legitimately. I'd sit in the draft, but I'd be like, I'm gonna send Shedeur to Vegas for a 3rd round pick because I don't want that crap in my locker room. But he'll be good. But
he'll be all right.
The Browns if the Browns can figure out the head coach, and I'll bang the drum for him because I just want Clint Kubiak. I think Clint Kubiak's great. If anything, I think they'll go Cliff Kingsbury. But you need to bring in a play caller because I don't think Cliff Kingsbury can really call plays. I think he's more of a play designer as a head coach.
You need someone more offensive.
Yeah.
Not like Kevin Stefanski experience at a Patriots game. Why are we putting in our second string fullback in for a wildcat for a direct snap? That's the issue. That's the issue. It's the beginning of the game. What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing? This is not high school ball. This is not high school ball. I've seen multiple accounts bring this up. His high school playbook, his high school playbook, his high school playbook. I thought he should have given up play calling literally after the 2023 season. Fuck you, Joe Flacco, for saving this man's job. He should have been gone after that year.
Now, I think
been gone.
Stefanski will land somewhere probably as a head coach. He'll probably want to be one of the last.
I wouldn't let him touch my team like that ever again.
Because I think what he hangs his hat on is the 2 coach of the years. That's what he can easily hang his hat on. And he'd be like, I'm 2-time coach of the year. And, I
still don't think he deserved that second one, to be honest.
But if you can just get the quarterback position figured out.
Figure out the fucking offense. You just lost Quinshon Judkins, by the way, to a broken fucking ankle. And we're going to be missing him next year.
But you do have Dylan Sampson could kind of fill in. He's okay.
Not really.
But you can definitely take one. You need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy's number 2. Get
rid of Njoku. There's no point of keeping him around.
Yeah, get rid of him.
He's just there eating up everyone else's targets, especially if you bring in a young receiver, especially like Arnold Tate. from Ohio State. If you bring him in, you want to develop this kid to the max potential. You don't want him splitting reps between two tight ends and another receiver when it should just be him, one tight end, and the other wide receiver, and maybe like a receiving back. But David Njoku should be gone. The defense is fine.
You need offensive line.
The Jack Conklin should retire. This guy hasn't had a healthy season since he got here in Cleveland. Jederick Wills is off the team. We have no left tackle.
Zach Zinter could be like the Browns.
He's all right. He's all right, but like everything else, like Joe Bitonio is probably the brightest spot there on that line.
It's gonna be, if they make it correctly and do it smartly. You have, like, there are pieces here that you could keep back, that you can keep.
You could definitely keep.
You can always hang your head on, at least for next year, the defense, because the defense will only get better.
The defense is going to be fine.
Because
it's only going to get better.
Re-signed Devin Bush. Tyson Campbell's a really good trade. You fleeced the Jags. You gave him, Greg Newsome for Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell's a good CB2.
I'm going to say it. It was just a switcheroo.
Yeah.
They both suck equally. Greg Newsome's good at zone defense. Tyson Campbell's good at man, but he sucks at zone, and Greg Newsome sucks at man, and they just switch schemes, and they decided to not use those correct schemes with those players because they're both mid.
They're both just ass.
At least it's not like Greedy Williams. That was someone I couldn't stand on the Browns. Fucking hate that guy.
Ugh. And he was supposed to be so good. Like, everyone's like, oh, Greedy Williams is going to be really good. But, the Browns
have LSU team.
The Browns have, you can follow the Eagles pathway and just draft SEC. Well, Eagles just draft Georgia, but
I don't want more criminals on my team.
No, we do not need that.
I don't need driving records on my fucking team, dude.
You don't need everyone going, well, he's got off the field issues.
I don't need my 22-year-old rookie defensive tackle to have a DUI already. I'm not gonna front.
No.
I'm not gonna lie here. Like, Georgia needs to crack down on that. That's why they're not that good anymore, because they can't keep anyone around because everyone's going to fucking jail. And they're losing scholarships because they can't drive.
Well, yeah, they're all used to riding
I didn't know you guys were blind. Like, you play football. Georgia, like, what's the point? Like, you have the GSPD. It's one of the worst, like, state polices in the entire country. You guys are idiots. Guess who other players got pulled over by? The GSPD. Like, come on. They're all drinking.
You're going to play a national championship game tomorrow? Yeah, you're off the hook. Oh, shit. Okay. But no, like,
I actually have 15 grand on you guys to lose that game. So I might as well just take you in tonight.
We're going to book you. You're not getting any sleep. And, like, they got pieces. It'll be a long road. And as much as I personally don't think the quarterback...
You're telling me I have to wait again?
Yeah.
I just got here. What do you mean I'm waiting again? We just made it to the playoffs like 3 years ago. We won our first playoff game in 20-something years. Fucking 5.
You know what?
No, you have to wait again. Why? Because we got rid of the dude who won us that playoff game because he was injured the season before, and we forced him to play because it was his contract year, and we couldn't opt into his 5th year.
Well, he might have cost the Bucks their playoff appearance. I think he was playing injured. That's why they went 2-7. He got hit, and he just it wasn't his throwing shoulder. It was his other shoulder.
It wasn't his throwing shoulder in Cleveland either.
Yeah, but he just decided to play through it rather than going, I'm going to go and see something.
It was his off shoulder and his right ankle in Cleveland.
But we're speaking of rebuilding in pieces teams, I have a question for you, Mr. Foot.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to do a mock draft?
Right now?
Right now. Not for the Browns, but for the whole first round. Or do you want to do a Brown specific one? Dude, I don't even want to. Dude,
because
there's one thing we need to talk about when it comes to the draft. Because a huge wrench got thrown into the thing, and I'm a draft nerd, and it pisses me off. So Dante Moore,
Oregon QB,
Oregon QB, decided to go back to school. One, I find,
Dylan Raiola just committed.
and he entered the transfer portal. Why did? Because Dante Moore had someone who smartly looked at him and went, "The Jets are number 2. The Jets aren't going to be patient. You're definitely not ready." And I agree that game against Indiana, you saw the mental.
Whoa, he's not. It's not that he's not ready.
It's the Jets
aren't ready.
But I think that's the new form that you're going to see a lot, especially from quarterbacks. I don't think you're going to see it. Maybe the other position you could potentially, the two positions you see
anyone who gets drafted to fucking New York, dude.
Yeah, well,
not the flu team.
The only other two positions I think you could see this happen is edge and wide receiver, with just the importance on it, where you see a wide receiver go, I don't want, like Jeremiah Smith. Say Jeremiah Smith's supposed to be a top 5 pick next year, and the team that's everyone's going, yeah, the team that needs wide receiver is, because it happened, Cleveland. The Jets. And he goes, I don't want to go to New York. They're gonna screw me. And so he goes back to Ohio State. Who's
throwing me the ball?
Like, Justin Fields. Who's throwing me the ball? Fucking,
Tyrod Taylor.
So I firmly believe Dante Moore went back purely because he did not want to play for the Jets.
I don't think that's crazy.
I think that it's going to hurt him in the long run because
next year's class.
Because if look at next year's class, you're going to have the Ohio State quarterback, who I think is going to be somewhat good. And saying you're going to have Arch Manning. And if Arch can put it together and looks decent, he's the number 1 overall pick. And so Dante Moore is right back sitting at 2. And I don't think the Jets are bad enough to have the second overall pick again.
With both of those immediately. Whatever his fucking name is in Ohio State, dude. One thing I've learned about watching the NFL and college ball, especially Big Ten ballers, the Ohio State quarterbacks are fucking ass every time they get drafted. Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, exactly. I can't name anyone else. Dwayne Haskins, ass. I don't give a fuck if he's dead. Ass. I don't give a fuck. That's also just the big blue in me talking, but they're genuinely terrible quarterbacks.
No, they're bad. And the only reason I think CJ Stroud
was mid, Dwayne Haskins mid,
CJ
Stroud mid. Who was it last year? Who was it?
Who got there was a Ohio State quarterback drafted last year?
I don't even know. Whoever the fucking quarterback was last year or the year before, mid. Every single Ohio State quarterback drafted is mid. Jack Sawyer. Ass. He's like, I'm a number 1 round pick. 2 rounds later.
You're a third round pick. He pulled the Shadur.
You're a 3rd round pick. You didn't even start, dude. You're trash.
Awful. I agree with that sentiment. I think the reason people still talk with CJ Stroud the way they talk is purely because he had an excellent rookie year. And then it's just done this. And I don't think this is gonna be a hot take. It might be a little hot take. And this might just be the bias in me. Bryce Young is the best quarterback in that draft class.
Who even else is it even in that draft?
It was Anthony Richardson, bust. Will Levis, too busy drinking mayo.
Too busy having a fat fucking peener.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna. My lawyers have advised me
not gonna name drop, but goddamn, bro is packing.
Yeah. But you've seen,
that whole draft class, low key, kind of ass. Low key.
Bryce is right. If Bryce is right now looking the best
Bryce
one,
is in the likable part of that draft, at least.
But I'm going to get to my point about the draft that it just chaps my ass. Purely because I'm now going to start seeing it in all the draft boards I'm on and involved in. Everyone's going to consider this draft class ass because they don't have a good quarterback class. And it's the one thing that pissed me off about drafting.
I think this quarterback class is actually all right. I think
but you're going to have one taken in the first round. The rest of them are going to be second round after. And it's going to be the Kenny Pickett draft, where one went in the first round, the rest didn't go till round 3.
If Dante Moore is in this draft, I'd say it's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better, but that's the problem. He dropped out.
Ole Miss should
Trinidad Chambliss is going to rise up draft boards. I think he's purely going to test well.
I want to get into this next this next little topic in my brain. NIL deals. Carson Beck, dude, he gets to play college for 7 years. This kid at Ole Miss gets
I don't
denied a
think.
5th year.
Oh yeah, well that's because Carson Beck is just,
Carson Beck, literally, he's there's a scumbag of the earth, dude.
yeah.
It's like one of the worst people you can ever
Was
meet in your whole life.
was
This
dating a
This kid
Cavender.
at Ole Miss goes from JUCO to D3 school
Yeah.
to Ole Miss to playing in the fucking playoffs.
And Carson Beck is
only
only well known because yes, he was on Georgia, but he was on the Georgia with their elite defenses, and then he moved to Miami, got caught like basically snapping underage girls, and then is now dating a porn star. Like, you know, but
that's him. He's with a Bella Danger.
He's with a Bella Danger. Who else would be like? Who else would go within 50-foot pole of a Bella Danger? He's with a Bella Danger. That's why she's at Miami.
I'm not drafting this kid.
No, he's gonna. But
in any round,
I think this year's draft class outside of Mendoza will be we're gonna play the long game, i.e., in 3 to 4 years, these guys might see some field. Like the only two other guys I think in this class who could potentially be starters is the kid from Old Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, and then Drew Aller. And Drew Aller's coming off an ACL injury. Because Drew Aller has the arm and the athleticism.
He has a talent. Dude,
he's the talent to be a really good player.
But it's
just, it's Penn State. But
I hate Drew Aller at the same time because he sucks.
He sucks. I watched that game against Oregon. He looked bad.
He looks bad all year, dude. I watch Big Ten football. He sucks.
But it just chaps.
That kid, the next 3 years, I'd be looking at Bryce Underwood, though, once Michigan gets their offense figured out for the most part.
I think he's going to be really good next year because supposedly winning. I was reading something about it. Michigan's offense was just terrible under Sherrone Moore, and Whittingham's supposed to be.
Because he was so busy trying to fuck bitches.
He was trying to bang a grad assistant. He was DoorDashing wiener
dick wet. God forbid a dude gets his dick wet. Am I right? Am I right, guys?
Bro, was DoorDashing
Joe Mazzulla all over again?
No, it's Ime Udoka.
No, whatever.
Takes his team to the NBA Finals as the favorite to win the next year, and goes, "Hey, my assistant, you want a wiener? You want? I'm gonna cheat on my pop star actress wife."
What type of fucking world do I live in?
And then 2 years later, Joe Mazzulla goes, "Hold my beer," and won the cup. Like they lost to the Warriors. And then I was like, well, the Celtics are going to be bad because Ime Udoka was the one person who looked at Jason Tatum and went, "Stop whining about calls and play basketball." Oh, it's just a whole thing. But no.
I am texting my lady real quick. Not official. Don't worry about it.
Is it who I think it is?
It might be.
Okay. We'll talk later. We'll talk off camera.
It's too late.
I know.
Nothing you can do.
I'm not going to stop you.
But you can't.
I wasn't there. I heard about it. Wasn't there. Anyway, back to it just really upsets me when people will go like the draft classes are bad because the quarterback class is bad. And I'm like, but it's not.
Oh, there's so much I hate. It's like the whole MVP shit.
Yeah. It's a quarterback award. And I get quarterback is probably one of the top 3 most important positions in football. But at some point you got to look at it and go, the talent in this draft class is probably really, really good. And looking at you think about the class that had Kenny Pickett in it. Cause that's the Aiden Hutchinson draft class.
He's a fucking beast.
He's a beast. Trevon Walker's come onto it. You have Derek Stingley, who's arguably a top 5 cornerback.
Aiden Hutchinson's so good that he broke his fucking ankle last year and came back like it never happened.
Exactly. And then you also have in that draft, you had Sauce Gardner, who's fallen off a little bit, but you had him. You had Stingley.
That's a morale thing, though. He was on the Jets. That always happens.
And that draft also had Drake London, Jameson Williams, Chris Olave.
Loaded wide receivers.
And it was a loaded class.
Just like this next upcoming class is absolutely peaked with wide receivers. Then the next year it's going to be the same thing, but better because of QBs.
Because it's QBs.
Quote unquote. We'll have to see.
Well, you'll have Jared next draft class is probably going to have Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. And I know Ryan Williams fell off this year. I still think he's going to be
Is that the 17-year-old from Bama? He's a beast. I hate people who shit on college ball because they're like, oh, the NIL deals ruin everything. That didn't last too long.
I agree that, and I don't think they'll ever curb NIL because I don't think you could ever put a cap space in.
You got to make them like contracts.
No. Here's purely what I want. I don't care about NIL. I don't care about you either at or one. They need to fix the transfer portal. That shit opens up after the national championship game, and
true.
I think it should for athletes. It should. Now I know why it opens up early because academic.
Because perfect example is Dylan Raiola just fucked Nebraska. He left a program that was building around him, and then he left.
Well, no, but like
that's the problem. You know what I mean? That's why I think it should be like contracts. Because the Cliff Kingsbury, same thing.
You signed
LSU like right before playoffs.
Yeah, no, you sign a deal, you finish it out, and I think it was purely because Ole Miss purely looked at Lane Kiffin and went, if you take the LSU job, you're not coaching us in the playoffs because
Kingsbury.
Yeah, they're the same person.
What? My bad, Cliff Kingsbury. My bad, Lane Kiffin. My bad. Whatever his fucking name is. My bad.
The Lane Kiffin thing was Ole Miss just looked at Lane Kiffin and went, "You're taking a fellow SEC rival's job. It's either you're going there full time because you'll be head coach." Because
it's not even that. He messaged his whole
team,
staff, and team.
Get on the plane.
If you're not coming with me, don't reach out to me when I'm gone.
Yeah, he literally looked at his staff and went, "Get in the car, or I'm leaving your ass." And they went,
"Me and your mother just got a divorce. You're either coming with me, or I'm never seeing you again.
Pick your side.
Pack your bags."
But no, I think the transfer portal should open after the national championship because I hate that we're getting guys like on Oregon who are like, I need to transfer because I'm not starting, and Oregon's entire depth gets decimated.
And then these guys are going to go start there, and they're going to be good because it's their 5th or 6th year. Like Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. Like Dylan Raiola, I did think screwed Nebraska, and he purely went to Oregon because Mahomes wore an Oregon jersey. That kid's got problems in himself. But that's besides the point. Like,
if you want it, I'm going to touch on this. It gets to a point. Your drip, your number, your hair,
the way you throw, the way you celebrate,
like the way you celebrate your entire.
The only reason he didn't go to Texas Tech is because they had someone
fucking flow. He copied my whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar.
The only reason he didn't go to Texas Tech is because they already had a quarterback. So he went to Nebraska so he could also wear red that was similar to Chiefs red. Like,
I'm low-key nipping right now. Hold on.
Like, that's just insane. But I because he can't go back to Nebraska because Nebraska already brought in a quarterback. So my question is where does he go?
To me, that kid's probably not good. The kid's good, but
he's good. Where do you go?
That they were redshirting were wide receivers, an offensive lineman, and a running back. Right? The running back's going to be decent. Here's another thing about the whole college thing. NIL deals don't mean shit, and Indiana's proven it.
Indiana has a bunch of 3 and 4 stars who went. Like
here's my army of 3-star recruits that are willing to eat your fucking whole face off to win a football game. Good luck.
You look at their transfer portal this year, the highest rated star they brought in is a 4-star. Their next year's starting quarterback for them is a guy from TCU. He's a 3-star, and he's probably going to win Heisman because Kurt Cignetti's going to be like, "What do you mean?"
He's a demon. He's the new Nick Saban. It's just
unless Kurt Cignetti doesn't take an NFL job, which I don't think he is. I think the next person I see jumping from college to the NFL is Marcus Freeman, just because I think he hates Notre Dame. As much as
Notre Dame needs a conference, man.
They'll never join a conference.
They won't.
Their reasoning
is okay, but for how the playoffs work now, that doesn't matter. You need to be in a power conference like the Big Ten, ACC, or
Well,
SEC.
they play in the ACC for everything, but lacrosse where they play in the Big Ten.
I think they should be in the Big Ten. Personally, because
get rid of these Western schools. They can go back to the Pac-12.
They fit what
better.
Big Ten football is way better than, like, just because of the running.
The running, the offensive linemen, the tight ends, done.
And the defense.
Big Ten football.
And defense.
Big Ten football is big fuck all farm boys running into each other for fun.
Like the SEC, dude.
Like the SEC's ranchers, like all the ranch hands who could wrestle a cow. That's why they have great defenders. The Big Ten is just, I pick corn all day and drive tractor. Boom.
And like they get all these kids from the South. That's where I like Bama. Bama looks at all these kids.
That's why the SEC's fallen off so much, is because they'd realize, now everyone else can pay players
now. Everyone can play players now. It's just like what's his name?
Reggie Bush?
The comedian.
Oh,
the comedian. The Notre Dame comedian, the white guy.
Oh, Shane Gillis.
Yes, thank you. It's just like he said to Nick Saban.
Everyone can pay players now.
Everyone can pay their players now.
Well, it's that, and like, yes, NIL needs to be under contracts. You sign at, like, I don't think you need to sign a 4-year deal with a school.
No, 2 years max.
2 years at max. 2 years, and then you're a free agent.
And coaches, it's different because you obviously that's different.
Well, they have to work around the academic schedule because they're
exactly.
Like, but that's why the transfer portal is where it is. But then I would rather have the national championship happen before the transfer portal. The national championship should be the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, national title game. Now,
I want to say something. I got to witness Ohio State miss a game-winning field goal on New Year's Day twice. Dude.
I was with an Ohio State fan.
One of them started the New Year's mid-kick, dude. It was in the air. The ball dropped. I said Happy New Year to all my boys, and they missed a field goal right after Michigan lost, and I was so happy. I remember that.
This year, when they lost to Indiana, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends, and one of them was an Ohio State fan. I went, "Oh crap!" And they went, "What?" And I went, "Ohio State just lost. I just watched the color drain out of them." And I went, and then the Bengals got kicked out of the playoffs the next day, and I was like, "My bad." It's because I hear, like,
that don't make any sense at all. I'm a Browns and a fucking Big Blue fan.
No, it's like the transfer portal they need to fix. NIL should be contract, and I think they need to cap years at 5. You get 5 unless you can absolutely prove that the injury you sustained when you were a freshman or a sophomore affected your abilities to play football.
Or if you were a redshirt.
Like if you're a redshirt, you get 5 because you get that extra year. But if you get hurt and you're like a sophomore, you should not be given a 6th year.
Like
they can redshirt you, but you
should
should not be given a 6th year
year
because you got hurt as a sophomore and you had 3 extra years you have 3 more years of eligibility because they redshirted you.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you need the 4th one? Because that ACL injury should not affect you at entering year 3. And if it does, then great. You're not going to do anything anyway. You're going to get drafted late in the round, and then you can prove yourself in the NFL. But you should not be given the 6th year because you're making $14 million.
Or a 7th, like Carson Beck.
Yeah. There's guys in there who are like 27. It's like at that point, give up the dream. Like I get
like
generational bag chase.
The Browns drafted a 27-year-old quarterback.
Like I get it. Bag chase. Get as much money.
Michael Penix is old,
but like
he was the oldest QB drafted that year.
At some point, the problem with college football is that you have 27-year-olds who are taking the spot of 18-year-olds, and that's why you're getting all these 18-year-olds who transfer, and you don't realize that, oh crap, like that's why you get guys who sign with Michigan as a freshman, don't play a single snap, don't have any game film on. Transfer to a D2, D3 school for a year or a JUCO school for a year because they need playing time. They know they're going to play time.
They need to put themselves out there,
and then they transfer to they essentially transfer to a G5 to like Bowling Green, and then they transfer to Michigan back, or they transfer to
like Ohio State, LSU, any of the big.
They transfer to a big school for 2 more years, and they're 23 by the time they come out, and it's like you just spent 5 years in college because some guy who has a wife and kid is taking your snaps.
There's a dude dating a porn star right now playing in Miami now who I think shouldn't have master's played degrees,
and I get going for a grad school, but that doesn't affect anything. Like
that's it. That's your own.
But if you're going
if you don't want to enter the draft,
if you're going for your master's
degree,
degree,
your degree. like you should exactly.
If you're choosing to go for your master's in an extra 1 to 2 years, sir,
You shouldn't be playing ball.
nah, find a job.
Because you obviously have you're focused on something else,
You
obviously.
clearly understand academics are important. You realize that someone probably looked at you when you went to go declare for the draft and went, the
Fuck
highest you're probably
academics.
ever going to go is the second round.
Fuck
And he went,
academics.
no,
Academics don't mean shit in college. I'm not gonna lie, especially if you're like one of the fucking like players on a team. I'm telling you, they don't matter. If you get a
it
C or a
does
D,
not
you're
mean
fine as
anything.
long as you're
No,
not
it's
failing.
exactly. It's
Jabril Peppers is a good example. He had D's all at Michigan, and that as a regular student, you're gone.
you're gone. You're done.
You need B's at Michigan to keep your scholarship or even like stay at that school.
Just because he could tackle,
He was thus with Army Knife.
It's just
and I'm still mad he didn't win Heisman.
That's
Fuck
why
you,
I've
Lamar.
never been able to get into college football. That and because
That's why I hate Lamar so much. He robbed Jabril Peppers of an Heisman.
oh my god, it's just a college football in and of itself is just it's a wild west, and I think they'll fix it. The problem is the way
They need regulations.
they need
that's
regulations, but like
I think it's the best it's been in a while.
it is because
I think it's the best since Saban was around and when they were winning championships. But
it's entertaining.
The problem with that era was that it was Bama, Ohio State, Georgia,
Clemson for a couple years.
Bama, Clemson, Ohio State. But it's just like you see the same teams. Like when Michigan won the Natty, I don't think Texas nor Bama should have been there. I think it should have been Florida State.
Florida State should have been over Georgia.
Georgia wasn't in it.
No, because
okay. So
the year Michigan won, Jordan Travis got hurt, and that's why they didn't put an undefeated Florida State team in there because they thought they would suck because their starting quarterback got hurt. That's why they didn't put Florida State in there. And so a 3-loss Georgia and the SEC championship Georgia team made it, but they had 3 losses.
Look at this up real quick.
Like
just so we could just
it was
Bama,
right. Georgia, Michigan. Because that was like because that was the year after CJ Stroud left and Ohio State fell flat on its face for a year.
Dude, the 2023 championship between Georgia and TCU was
just buns.
Fucking 65-7.
Buns.
Oh my god.
It was buns.
Oh my god. So it was 2024.
Because that's when Cincinnati was in there because everyone's like Cincinnati's undefeated. They should be in the college football playoffs, and Cincinnati got pantsed by a Bryce Young Alabama team. Just got pantsed. Because that was Georgia and Michigan. No, because Bryce Young wasn't in the. I got it mixed up. He was playing in the NFL at that point. But the year before it was Cincinnati because that was Desmond Ridder and
right.
And Cincinnati got
that. I didn't even think they belonged there, to be honest.
They were undefeated. And like I'm all for putting in those group of 5 teams purely for the money because that's why like I get Tulane and James Madison, we're gonna get absolutely smacked. But like there's a wealth inequality in the college football because the G5 just can't make the money.
I got the teams pulled up here. It was Michigan v. Bama and Washington v. Texas in the playoffs.
Michigan won.
It was Georgia and Florida State that missed, but Texas and Bama had one more loss than
and they put I think they put Bama in because they won the SEC because that was before Texas went to the SEC. That was the year before they went there, and Bama won the SEC over Georgia, and everyone's like, "Well, Bama shouldn't be in; it should be Florida State. They're undefeated." And everyone, but like. I like that they expanded.
Florida State, and
it's because they lost Jordan Travis.
13-2, and Texas and Bama were 12-3, but Michigan was the only undefeated team, and Washington was the only other team that didn't have more than 1 loss.
Yeah, but like it was just because they didn't allow Florida State in.
Then again, this was before the conference switches, like UCLA, Oregon.
So the Pac, it was USC the last year of the Pac-12.
Exactly.
And like,
so
it's just, I like the 12-team playoff.
I love the 12-team playoff.
I think it's smart.
James Madison shouldn't have been in it.
No,
I hate that. I'm gonna pull it up.
The thing that the 12-team playoff did, and it is like, the thing that the 12-team playoff did is it allowed more teams to get into the
Or
spotlight
just
to
look up the
share the money.
standings.
Like, I think Notre Dame should have gotten in over James Madison.
Yeah, obviously that who the fuck did James Madison play? And this is why the Notre Dame fans need to understand that's why you need a conference nowadays.
Because
because of this stuff.
Notre Dame supposedly signed a deal with the NCAA saying we were guaranteed a playoff spot if we're in the top 12 because we don't have a conference thing. We are given it because we don't get to play that conference.
Okay, but
the NCAA went eat our ass, join a fucking conference.
I got every team that made it. So it's Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech. This was an order. Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Bama, Miami, Tulane at 20. I just went through the top 10 first, and then James Madison at 24. 12-1 and 11-2. Made it over a 10-2 team in Notre Dame, a 11-2 BYU team, a 10-2 Vanderbilt team, a 10-3 Virginia team, who I personally think should have been over everyone else because they shocked the whole fucking world this year. And honestly, Michigan, USC, Utah, hell, dude, Texas, Georgia, any team that's in the Big Ten, SEC or ACC should have made it over James Madison or Tulane.
Yeah,
I liked Tulane this year because they were hot, but dude, you're ranked 20 in the nation.
The only people, the only people I think who should be given guaranteed spots are the conference winners of the Big Four.
Exactly.
Now I'm in favor of doing it this way, doing it kind of like the NCAA tournament, because did you see that one take where the college commentators no one gives a crap of March Madness? It's so stupid because of the underdogs and Cinderella stories. And I'm like, that's not true. That's what makes March Madness so fun is you could get a 1-1 matchup and then you get that off chance at the 16 team that some white boy who's studying finance, who's got a job at Edward Jones next fall, just pulls up from 3 and nails it to beat, the number 1 team. But I would propose a fix the college football playoffs where the guaranteed slots go to all the conference winners from the.
I think that should be a given.
If you win, even if they're
winning your division in the NFL, you have.
If you're in the G, even if you're in the G5, even if you're in Group of 5, so so there's 9 conferences. We'll bring back 10 because we'll reform the Pac-12 just to do 10 and 10. So you have 10 automatic bids, and that's the winner of all their conferences. And then the only other teams that then are in the mix are the teams that come in second.
They can play each other.
Yeah, then
I think you make them play each other.
Then you have 1 through 10. We have another 6 spots open. The top remaining highest 6 teams, you play each other, or the top remaining
and
highest
a mini bracket.
Teams, you play each other to get in, and then the 6 remaining the top.
It's like a play-in.
Yeah, and you just do a play-in for the 12 or whatever, however many teams.
Okay, I got the scores here of the Ole Miss, Tulane, and the Oregon James Madison game. I did watch this James Madison game, by the way. Ole Miss won 41-10.
Yeah. The only reason James Madison only put up 34 because Oregon stopped playing football.
Yeah, exactly. They stopped playing in the fourth quarter. It was just
they just started benching people. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that they do that so much because I'm like even if these teams do win,
on the off chance they get that one game,
James Madison has to play Texas
Tech.
And then Tulane has to play Georgia.
They're making it to they're making it to the divisional round.
If they even win those games to begin with, you're going against a powerhouse in the SEC in Ole Miss that's resurgent, even without whatever his face, Lane Kiffin, whatever his bitch ass name is, and then Oregon, who's been an established program since the early 2010s.
Exactly. And on top of that, you saw Oregon. The only reason Oregon didn't make it to the semifinals last year is because the bracket makers decided to put Ohio State in their side of the bracket.
It's because Dylan Gabriel's a bum-ass motherfucker and he sucks. That's why I didn't make it
I'm just
going to
say that Alabama-Oklahoma game. Made me a lot of money.
That was good.
$175.
That was cinema. The Ole Miss Georgia game was good too.
Oh, like I'm excited for Monday. I think this will probably be one of the better championships we've gotten in a while.
I don't think Miami has a chance in hell.
Oh, no.
I'll be shocked. I said I'll be shocked if Miami gets 10 points.
The cornfield.
Genuinely
you're talking about cornfield versus convicts right here. Like it's corn
people
versus porn.
Who know what they're doing versus people who think they know what they're doing.
It's the corn versus porn ball. You got the Hoosiers playing the porn stars.
Hoosier!
It's the corn versus porn.
Yeah, this is another thing I want to point out about college football, especially Big Ten. For some reason, for a long time, these fucking red teams in the Big Ten, Nebraska, 80s to 90s, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Anyways, now it's going to be Indiana.
Ohio State.
I don't give a fuck. We own them. Overall, we own them. I don't give a fuck. Ooh, you guys beat us this year.
Oh. You also have four first-round picks on your defense. So that's like...
Yeah, and you'll
have 5 first-round picks because you'll have your number 1 wide receiver taken in the first round. But
this is another thing I noticed about Michigan v. Ohio State is Ohio State completely abandons their passing game against Big Blue for some reason, and they end up eating that because of the defensive line on the Michigan's always
Michigan
good.
Corners are very
their defense is so fucking good. So good. Their issues right now is just catching the ball.
Exactly.
And having a stable run game, but that's okay.
That is
like
okay.
Bryce Underwood's going to be the future there. I think I'll be really upset if he leaves after his
I don't think he's
going to
leave.
I think they'll be okay next year. But college ball in general right now, I think it's developing into something a little too big.
It's becoming
for good reasons and bad reasons, but the bad reasons have nothing to do with like the fans, the fan bases, or like the real programs. It's the NCAA handling NIL deals and coaching.
The NCAA was not prepared for NIL to happen. It was abruptly seen. They just weren't prepared.
They heard everyone complain about SEC, and then Michigan won the bowl, right? They won the Natty. And the year before that, it was who was it? Georgia. And then Michigan beats Bama and probably one of the best football games I've ever seen in my life. And then who was it? Washington beats on Texas. And then Michigan wins the Natty convincingly. And then everyone's like, well, Texas is going to the SEC. They're supposed to be a powerhouse conference. So now everyone's like, oh, we should be getting paid like this and that. And now teams like Ohio State, who probably have been paying players.
Oh, they've definitely have been paying players
before this.
It's just the SEC could pay more because the SEC had oil money.
Exactly,
and so they could give them like, I mean, they still haven't. The NCAA still hasn't given back Reggie Bush's Heisman. Why?
This is just like Barry Bonds all over again.
We all know the SEC was paying players, and the minute a Pac-12 team does it, because USC was in the Pac-12, the minute they do it, we're gonna punish them. Oh, that's right, because the SEC just matters.
Like Barry Bonds.
It just matters more.
Hall of Fame.
It doesn't really matter more.
No, it's not Barry Bonds. Who's that dude on the Reds that's not in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, Pete Rose.
Yes,
he gambled. And did lots of cocaine. Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. He's still not in the Hall of Fame.
What? Everyone else is though.
Because baseball writers are stupid. Because all they do is like the sanctity of the game. Oh my god!
Let me look at my analysts here. That's what's kind of ruining sports, low key. It's all the fucking
analytics.
Geeks. Like it's cool.
It's like, cool that baseball. We can now like. I love like. Yeah, PFF is cool now in terms of like analytics stuff because you can now be like, okay, great. When this player plays in the slot, he's awesome. Okay, great. I know I'm now just gonna put this guy in the slot. Mm-hmm. But then you also have where they pop up in the rankings like, yeah, this guy's 32 tackles. He's bad, and I'm like, I think there's worse. I've seen
Chargers offensive line.
I've seen Greg Van Roten play football. I know what he did. I've seen some bad football.
I've seen Jadarick Wills play football. He was the 13th overall pick in the 2020 draft.
Like I've seen some bad tackle play. Like let's pause that.
Who the hell was it? Who the hell was it in New York? Not Andrew Thomas. Who the hell was?
Oh, Evan Neal.
Yes,
fifth overall pick.
Evan Neal, the 6'7" guy.
Block shit. They kicked him into guard.
Good dude couldn't block a toddler.
You know how bad you are as a tackle when you're drafted in top 5 to play blindside tackle, and then they move you to the opposite side of the line and then to guard. They go, you can't cover the blind side, and then they cut him. They just cut him. They cut him like today. They went, yeah, you're gone.
No, he's still on my franchise. That's crazy.
I always sign him as just depth. I go depth, and if a team needs to tackle, I can trade him for a
tackle
fourth.
Right now.
I was like, if I need to trade him, 4th round pick right there. So like it's insane. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. College ball, NFL. You can't compare the two because I'm gonna put it out there. I think college ball is bigger.
College ball is bigger
because there's more schools, there's more teams to watch.
Yes, and there's more. It's more regionality for
way longer. It's been a more established pro.
Yeah, it's more established, more
league.
More established, more heroic. It's more established, more historic. There's regionality because the culture, like a lot of
huge. That's actually real culture.
There isn't really much around NFL teams, but that's just I just think the NFL is still just a better league because you go from like the reason a lot of college players have a lot of adjustments. It's faster because you go from being the 5-star recruit best player on your team to
and you're
playing
surrounded
next to a guy who was another 5-star recruit who's the best player on his team. The guys who are sitting behind you are 4 or 5-star recruits who are the best players on their college team, and you're like, well, shit. You're going up against a guy who's the best player. His college team was a 5-star recruit.
You're not like teams just can't take in everyone they want to build the perfect team because they have cap space.
Yeah,
that's why QBs like Dante Moore if he gets drafted to the Jets, like you're going from one of the most established programs in the entirety and most recent history of the NCAA
to the Jets
to
Alcatraz
to Auschwitz.
It's gonna say Auschwitz.
It's to Auschwitz, dude.
Like
I would rather be a quarterback drafted to the Browns, Raiders, fuck it, dude, the Titans again, and the Dolphins then get drafted to the fucking Jets. I don't care if they have Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall. I don't care. They traded away.
Both of them are going to be. I have a feeling both of them are going to be gone this offseason. I think if they trade Breece, Garrett Wilson
should trade him.
Well, they should. Well, he's a free agent. They'll probably franchise tag him, but they should franchise tag him and trade him. And if they trade him, I think Garrett goes, I want out. Because Garrett Wilson's a top 15 receiver. He just plays for the Jets.
Sauce Gardner's gone. They got rid of another person.
They got rid of Quinnen Williams
at the beginning of the year with the Micah Parsons, right?
No, that was the deadline. They sent him to Dallas. That's why they have like 8 first-round picks the next 2 years.
Even fucking worse.
Like they're gonna now the Jets will do the funniest thing. I genuinely saw this post. I was scrolling through Twitter when I was bored at work. Someone did a thing where the Jets could end up with. There's a way that for the Jets to make sure they draft Dante Moore next year. And it was just like the guy posted, he's like, Dante, you're not escaping. And he traded all their first round picks this year and all their picks this year to make sure he got every top 10 pick next year. And he went, you ain't escaping.
He got all 32 picks.
He got all 32.
And Madden, eventually.
In Madden, when you traded all your studs and you just got all 32 picks and you went.
And Madden, I don't even think he's going to be able to avoid them next year regardless.
Oh, no.
They're going to be terrible.
If Arch doesn't put together, and I keep going back to Arch purely because he's a Manning, and if he has a good to decent season, like if he looks like competent,
he is supposed to be a stud. He was supposed to be it this year.
Yeah,
though.
but if he looks mildly competent, like okay, he could probably run an offense.
He did pick it up after like the halfway point.
Right. If he looks like second half Arch next year, he's going number 1 overall purely because he's a Manning, and most teams would be like, great, then we'll get him in here.
He's fast. That's not a Manning trait.
It's that, and then so Dante's going second, and I don't think the Jets are getting the number one overall pick because it's a Jets thing to not
I
have the
think
number
the
one overall
Titans
pick.
are going to get it
Uh,
again. I think the
I
Titans
was
are.
looking at it.
Unless the
My
Titans like, I don't even think this free agency this year is that good. But if they like even get pieces that will help them out, then that's a different story. They have 90. They almost have 100 mil in cap. They have like 97 point something mil in cap space. But what do they have? The third pick?
the Titans,
Yeah, third, fourth
they have the
pick.
fourth.
Wh- Arnold Tate, wide receiver.
I think they'll take. No, I think they're going to take the kid from Arizona State. I know
Arizona
he's
State.
injured a lot, but he's
Him, Arnold
if he's
Tate.
healthy, he's the best wide receiver in the class because he's
Mhm.
just a beast. And the Giant, I
Next
think
year,
the Giants are going to probably take an offensive tackle because that's what they need. They need an offensive lineman.
I need
That'll
another
leave you
one.
with
Next
the
Andrew
guy.
Thomas.
Yeah, they need a guy next to Andrew Thomas. So that will leave the Browns sitting at 6 with either
Receiver.
Cardinal. Well, they're going to take receiver, but if the Titans take the kid from Arizona State, the Browns will then have Cardinal Tate, which they'll take the Ohio kid,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll take the kid from USC,
Mm-hmm.
who's just the kid from USC is just Jerry Judy, just with better hands.
With way better hands.
Like he just runs routes and catches the ball. He's 5'11". So like I'm not taking that kid at 6. I'd rather trade down.
I'd rather get Cardinal Tate
And then you
because
guys
he's 6'1",
then the Browns are back on the board at what?
20 something,
It's looking like
24. It's a Jags
24.
pick, right?
Yeah, 24 right now is the Jags pick. Offensive
Corner.
lineman there because this
Offensive
isn't a
line,
great
corner.
like the Cardinals will probably go tackle. The Giants will probably go tackle. So there's probably the kid from Miami, and then one of the two kids from Utah will go there. And then you can probably
Guard,
get
tackle.
you'll probably get a guard there. Probably the
Don't
kid from
really need to
Alabama,
replace Joe
Caden,
Patonio. I don't think he's going to retire this
Caden Proctor
offseason.
will probably go to you, or the kid from Penn State. But like it's
The offense, the defense is fine.
This will be when the Super Bowl's all said and done. I think the offseason will be the bigger thing than the Super Bowl this year for the NFL because it's going to be a momentum shift offseason because you're gonna have so many coaching changes. There might be a couple. I think there's gonna be a couple cornerback or quarterback / big name players moving hands. AJ Brown's one. I think AJ Brown's going to Buffalo. That's just me. Buffalo because Buffalo does
New England.
But Buffalo does that. They did it with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs threw a fit in Minnesota and said, "I want out because Adam Thielen was getting more touches." They traded him to Buffalo,
And he sucked the next year.
and then 2-3 years, the guy was like, "I'm out of Buffalo because Josh Allen can't throw me the ball, or Josh Allen doesn't throw me the ball enough." And then he goes to Houston, tears his ACL, ends up in New England.
Now he's having a resurgence here this year on the Pats.
Yeah. And like I think that's what's
And
going to happen.
got him for
Eagles
a
are going to send him to
decent
Buffalo
deal,
and go give us a
Like they could
second
give
round
AJ
pick.
Brown the money because they didn't give Diggs the money. And Diggs knew they weren't going to give him money because of the ACL tear.
But like you'll probably see that move. There's going to be a couple other
big hot
guys.
take.
Yeah,
I don't. If I'm Joe Burrow,
I want out.
What is the point of me staying behind that offensive line?
I don't even think it's that offensive line. What's the point of me staying with Zach Taylor?
Zach Taylor, the offensive line and the defense. All my money's going to my 2 stud wide receivers in me, but we're not drafting.
They don't have a run game. Their defense is like Chase Brown's good.
All right. He's all right.
But like
better Madden player than real life.
He's in the same tier, and I love him. He's in the same tier as Chuba Hubbard, where it's like, yeah, he's 1,000-yard running back, but like there's guys in the league I'd take over him.
Yeah,
I would draft
exactly.
like if the Panthers have a chance to, I'd draft Jeremiah Love, the kid out of Notre Dame.
Exactly.
Like it's like
heard
if
the
we have a
Chiefs
chance
might draft him.
The Chiefs are going to take him. The Chiefs are going to either take the kid. What I think the Chiefs are going to do is they're probably going to trade out of pick 9.
Yeah,
move back and take the kid from Oregon. Take Kenyon Steak, the tight end from Oregon, because I don't think Travis is coming back.
Travis is probably done.
And because if I'm Travis, I don't know why. If anything, I don't know if he retires or he just goes, "I'm going to take a year."
I'd just be done, dude.
Wait for Mahomes to come back.
Your legacy's set in stone. You don't have to be the greatest tight end of all time because some people already think you are. The same way that some people think Gronk is and Tony Gonzalez is. I think Gronk's the best tight end ever just because of his pure blocking game, and he was so dominant when he was healthy.
I think they'll take the kid from Oregon, but yes, they might take. I think because if they don't get Breece Hall in free agency or through a trade or whatever, they'll take the kid from Notre Dame. But if they
Jeremiah
do, they're going
Love.
to trade back. But like, right, you'll see some big names move. You know, if I'm Joe Burrow, I request out because they brought back Zach Taylor.
I'd want to go to Minnesota if I'm Joey B.
I either go Joey B, but like, yes, you have a decent situation. You have two top 10, you have two number one wide receivers on your team, essentially, in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But you don't have an offensive line.
Your defense is
abysmal.
Your
defense, they played all right down the stretch, but they're not going to win you games.
That Bears game.
Like, they're just not. They're not going to win you games. They're going to be the reason you
gotta make that tackle on Colston Loveland. That's a rookie.
Exactly.
He's a stud.
And like, I'm surprised Burrow didn't just look at the Bengals when they didn't fire like Zach Taylor and went, what are we doing here? Like, either get me out of here or get rid of him.
This is like my whole situation. My whole thing looking at the Joe Burrow situation is the Andrew Luck situation all over again. You're giving him weapons, not the stuff that's going to help you guys win the game.
You need to keep
you want
to
build around your receiver or your quarterback. You don't need T. Higgins on your team. You don't really need that.
And if you trade, like,
if you trade him for
you're getting
offensive line help.
You're getting a Sauce Gardner haul if you trade him.
Anything,
like 2 or 3 first-round picks,
an offensive lineman at least. You need to help the kid. Like, at this point, I think if they help him, it's too late. The same way. You know what the Bengals, Andrew Luck.
What the Bengals need to do is Bengals need to do what the Panthers did 2 years ago, where they signed the top 2 guards because their biggest weakness was their interior. They spent $120 million alone on 2 players in one offseason, and they were guards, and their offensive line changed overnight.
Exactly.
And because you got 2 guys who are just like, I'm just going to run through.
You have to focus on your weak spots. You can't just keep. And if you know your defense is bad, but your offense has something, why are you trying to cater to both?
Go to your defense.
You can't please.
Well, because they can't. Well, the problem is they can't draft a pass rusher to save their life, and then they have Trey Henderson going, I want big bucks. And
I want
like,
big money, but he's 33 years old and he just had his best season.
But even
2 years ago.
2 years ago, he's like, I want a contract extension when he was 29. I was like, yeah, he might not.
That was his best season, though.
He might not have 17 sacks anymore. He might be around a 12 sack thing. That's more than you get now. And the kid you draft from Texas A&M, who spent an entire offseason going, I don't want the clause where you void my guaranteed money, sucks. Sucks.
It's terrible.
And he was one of those guys that they drafted purely on flash. Sucks. Don't draft purely on flash. If the guy can't do it, draft him in the back half of the draft, if not in the second round. If he flashes, you draft in the second round.
The reason why
I don't care if a second round pick flashes because I'll give him.
What's the guy's name? The edge rusher that was complaining for money again.
Oh, Shamar Stewart.
In Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, he and Trey Hendrick were both.
Trey. The reason why he even was up there for sacks is because no Myles Garrett, no Micah Parsons, no T.J. Watt.
Exactly.
That's all I got to say. Not that it affects his stats personally, but you're asking for money, like big contracts. So all these guys are working in their contracts still, and they missed a whole season.
Well, it's that, and like Trey Hendrick when he was younger was not when he was like a rookie or young in the league. He was not
great that
sack.
Good.
He wasn't. No, but he was a guy who got pressure. And so if you want to see the development of an edge rusher, it's do they consistently get pressure on their quarterback? And if it's yes,
do they make the quarterback then
year 3 or year 4, because he was on the Saints, so he's playing across Cam Jordan. Yes, he wasn't getting sacks. Cam Jordan's getting sacks, but he's generating pressure. Like it was,
And here's my thing with that is that's why T.J. Watt was so good.
Yeah.
Get Cam Hayward.
You had generating pressure.
Smith. And he did tie the sack record, yes.
Yeah.
But you have to look at doubles. Myles Garrett
gets doubled a lot.
Micah Parsons, Max Crosby. Those are my 3 top edge rushers. You made a face when I said Micah.
I'll let you finish, but I have a hot take on Micah Parsons. I have a stupid hot take that I might get flamed for, and I don't care if I get flamed for it. So I'm standing on business.
So
10 toes down.
When those guys, when you're asking for money with like those pure, like absolutely generational players, like Myles Garrett, dude, like flexible. That's what makes him so generational. He is like pushing the offensive lineman at an angle like this to the ground. Insane flexibility. Micah Parsons, speed and power, just absolutely fucking insane. And then there's Max Crosby, who has a lot of finesse, lot of finesse on the block shedding. It's insane. When I look at Trey Hendrickson,
he's just a power rusher.
Why are you only getting single teams and only developing pressures when you want big money of guys who are getting doubled? And then
he's a pure power rusher. That's the thing.
Exactly.
He will barrel through you.
I don't think he seals off the edge. He just pushes against it, and that's what his biggest problem is.
I mean, because he's a power rusher. But I want to get to we'll finish.
You need speed rushers nowadays,
and then I'm getting to my Micah Parsons take because I have a somewhat hot Micah Parsons take that might upset some people. Whereas
you're probably gonna upset me, dude.
So Trey Hendrickson's 31. He's coming off an injury. Let's see his career stats.
35 mil max. I'm giving him. You're old, dude. Linemen don't last that long.
So his first year he had 2 sacks. Second year no sacks. Third year 4.5 sacks, and then his contract year he had 13.5 sacks. Then his first year with the Bengals he had 14. Then went to 8 because I think he got hurt, and then he had 2 back-to-back 18 sack seasons, and then he wanted money. But anyway, to my Micah Parsons hot take.
Can I say something about Trey?
Go for it. We'll finish up on Trey first.
So that's the issue. The issue is
he gets hurt.
You're 29 years old, and now you're producing 31.
He didn't start producing until he was.
You're injured a lot. Micah, my biggest pet peeve about Micah Parsons is his injuries.
Yeah, he didn't start producing.
He can't really stay that healthy, but talent is crazy. He's so raw. Like when I look at Trey Hendrickson, I don't see raw finesse power. Like I'm not blown away by it. You know what I mean?
He doesn't do a lot of tackling, but he's an edge rusher, and so my Micah Parsons take. It's a hot take.
Yeah, I can feel it, dude.
It's going to be spicy. It's a good way to end, but it's Micah Parsons is not a top 5 edge rusher.
Oh.
There are 5 guys I'd put out. Myles Garrett, 1.
Yeah.
Will Anderson, 2. Max Crosby, 3.
Yeah, he's up there for me.
Right? Okay. So
that's your top 3.
I have TJ Watt at 4. I still think he's a game wrecker. And it's a barely, and then out of it, I'm gonna say it, and it will probably be just absolutely wild, just purely because
don't say Brian Burns.
Oh no, Brian Burns he's not top 5. He would have been if he kept in process blue, but Scott Fitterer is a terrorist.
He's working with a different blue now.
Scott Fitterer is a terrorist and belongs in Guantanamo. But and then 5th, and it's purely because what Micah does isn't necessarily his ability. The guy I'd put 5 is Jared Verse.
Nah.
Yeah. And
nah.
I get that's hot. But
you have 2 real shaky guys in your top 5 with TJ Watt, especially because last 2 seasons numbers shitter. And then Verse over Micah, no way. My opinion, I think Micah's sports takes might be fucking absolutely shit.
He's dog shit.
My
one issue with Micah isn't necessarily his production. He's unequivocally
just injuries for me. That's why I don't.
It's like injuries, and I think he's too easily neutralized. You can too easily take him out of the game, and it wrecks whatever that defense is doing. And so
I think what you're trying to say
the number
is
1.
He lacks finesse.
Well,
The
like Miles Garrett.
finesse, Miles
Like Miles
Garrett,
Garrett, you can't
Max
neutralize because
Crosby.
you can double team Miles Garrett. He'll still get
So
home,
fast.
and he will definitely affect the run. Like he can affect everything. You don't want to run to him. You want to run away from him, and
even
you
then,
don't
he's
want
still
to.
probably
You
going to
want to
get
get the ball
you.
out quickly. Max Crosby, it's the same thing. Max Crosby, you don't want to run at, and you want to get the ball out quickly because he's just a wrecker.
He has
You know,
long arms. His finesse is insane. He's not fast.
Will Anderson. You can line like I was watching the Texans Steelers game.
Power.
They put Will Anderson 5 yards off the defensive line. In 2 seconds, Aaron Rodgers was shitting himself. And so those two guys you can't really just because Will Anderson can also
raw.
drop back into coverage and basically play linebacker. And like TJ Watt, now he's
Kinda
neutralizable. And that's where you get into like both those guys.
Don't say now he's neutralizable because he hasn't been doubled at all the way Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, and Max Crosby have. That's why I don't have him in my top 5.
But Micah Parsons,
TJ Watt's overrated, and that's why I think JJ Watt's better than TJ because JJ did everything he could for the Texans on both sides of the ball, but he should have won MVP in 2013.
The problem I have is Micah Parsons to me is just a name.
Oh.
Yes.
TJ Watt's just the name to me.
Yeah, and I agree. And I will concede that I should probably have Micah at 4. But Micah Parsons is, to me, will forever just be a name purely because I watched teams just go, look at him and go, we're either going to run at you because you can't stop the run. You can't tackle a running back. That's been proven. That's been proven since he's a rookie. You run at him, he can't do anything in the run game. Or we're just like, we can, if we put a decent guy on you, we get the ball out somewhat quickly, or we slide up in the pocket. It's used. The Packers were putting him at middle linebacker in some games just so we can get a look at the quarterback. And the quarterback would just take a 3-step drop, dump it off to their like receiver like they normally do in a middle linebacker. And Micah's standing there with his ass hanging out. I've never seen a guy with
I
more.
think the Packers are just scheming him wrong.
But it was even with the Cowboys. You run at him, he does nothing. You didn't need to double team him. It was the fact.
You want to know my rebuttal is, Chris?
You can't hold the ball long. But Micah Parsons to me was this entire season as a Packer was just a name. Oh, we're playing Micah Parsons and he's in a Green Bay jersey. Great. I'm just going to hand the ball off to.
They looked okay. So I'm going to say something. They looked really scary.
Jeff Hafley's a really good defensive coordinator.
They looked really scary before Tucker Kraft got hurt, right? And then Micah went down. I feel like Micah's injury was lingering a little bit. Like most NFL players, like Myles Garrett, like when some seasons you see him fall off at the end of the year, it's because of injuries. He's hurting. He's tired. He's fatigued. That's what I think is happening with Micah, but that's happening too early. But another thing with Micah is you sign and trade for edge rushers to get sacks. You know what I mean?
To get pressure on the quarterback. And I agree.
Pressure and sacks. That's why the Browns drafted Mason Graham, had Malik Collins, another decent edge, right? Just for the run game, because they're like, Miles is going to take 2 to 3 guys away from the offensive line.
We need to get pressure.
Openings from Mason Graham, Malik Collins, and whoever the fuck the other edge rusher is. I don't care, because that was another thing I didn't like about the Browns.
They don't have a guy next to him.
Exactly. I mean, they don't have a guy next to him. They went for a guy on the other side instead. And
exactly. But like
they're just running the middle.
So the only pushback I'd give to that is that you get an edge rusher to get sacks. And I agree. You get him to get pressure.
That's like what they're mainly used for. But yes, you do need to tackle the running back.
I look at it as Micah Parsons, while he gets pressure and he's a name and he makes you have to game plan, which I think any good edge rusher makes you have to game. I pulled up the edge rusher stats, right? I know you said I'm not putting Brian. I might put Brian Burns in my top 5 after this season, purely because that he's just an insane bend. He's got insane bend. If he has another 15+ sack season, he's a top 5 edge rusher. But like, to me, Micah Parsons for the last couple of seasons, maybe the last 2, has just felt like a name. And while he's generated sacks, he doesn't have the same pop that Will Anderson does, that Myles Garrett does, that Max Crosby does. And it might be Micah doesn't have the similar personality, but I'd argue he has a bigger personality than two of those three guys.
Who would you say that is?
He has a bigger personality than Micah and Will. I think Max has a really big personality. And
Max thinks he's fucking black.
But still, it's like I look at it, and Micah Parsons just, to me, is just a name. And it might be just because he had a down year this year, and the way the Packers used him, just it felt like they were kind of trying to hide him, and that the reason they needed to put him at different looks is because they're like, ooh, the teams are going to have to game plan for him. Yeah, but if you're sticking an edge rusher at middle linebacker, you kind of can just chip block him and get the ball out. Like, But I could be completely wrong. That's why I called it a spicy take.
It is spicy. That is honestly one of the more spicy.
And that's coming from a team
it's
coming from a fan of a team whose leading sack getter was a rookie with 5 sacks. So,
yes, you did have Brian Burns at one point.
Well, yeah, but again, Scott Fitterer belongs in prison.
But this is old. This is like old because this Micah's still on the Cowboys. But I'll go off of names here. I'll go off of names here because I did leave. So here's my top 5, right? Myles, Micah, Max Crosby, Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, purely because he can do both. He could tackle. He could stop the run.
I forgot about Hutch.
And get sacks.
It's much because I just don't know edge rushers. I might just not know edge rushers.
I also look at defense infinitely more than most people because I got yelled at in my Madden franchise with my friends because I was playing the entire game instead of just playing offense.
Custom that with the joint with other people?
Yes, I did.
And I wasn't invited?
Please, they don't like you that much.
Yeah, but I would have cooked the shit out of them.
Yeah, you would have cooked some of them. Me, Dan, and PJ would probably do.
I know they don't like me that much. They don't like me.
But looking at these edge rushers here, there are some big names, but I can't put TJ Watt in there just because of lack of production in the last 2 years. He's injured. He's getting up there in age, and he looks like he's falling instead of just taking a step back. You know what I mean? Nick Bosa, another big name, keeping him out of my top 5 purely because injuries. Same shit.
Wait, what, you locking out Magatron?
Yeah, are you fucking serious? Trey Hendrickson? No way. I don't like that guy. No. Jared Verse. I think he's good. I have Jared Verse honestly at 7 for me.
The problem I have with edge rushing and evaluating edge rushing is I come from a draft perspective. So there's a guy in the draft who I really like. His name's David Bailey.
Yes.
Because I was watching him and I went, he reminds me of Micah, even though you heard my take, but he's just a pure pass rusher. And I was listening to the guy goes, he's got short arms. And I went, who the hell cares? He hits the quarterback. Who the hell cares? Who cares? He's got short arms.
I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but
Will Campbell's got short arms.
When I played in high school, I was only fast and long. And there are pictures of me with my arms fully extended, but I'm like this. And look, the tackle's all the way over here. I already sealed off the edge. He's pushed in. This is why long arms were. Myles Garrett has long arms. Like I said, Max Crosby has really long arms.
I get it. It helps to be. It helps to be a versatile edge. But if you're the sole reason, like I said, Micah Parsons' sole reason he's on the field is just to hit the quarterback. And I don't think you really need that long of arms if you have the bend and speed to the point where the ball's snapped. If Myles Garrett had my length arms, I don't know how long my arms are. I haven't measured. But if he had my length arms, they're small arms. The speed he has, he wouldn't.
Boom, off the fucking gun, dude.
But off the gun, the tackle literally kicks back once and I'm right on his hip.
He gets a mid kickback, and that's why you see him pushing him over.
Yeah, and it's all speed and leverage. But anyway, I
But
think, there's a
I feel
lot
like
to talk about.
ending off on edge rushers is always good because I love analyzing the edge rushers because I played defensive in football, so like
Yeah.
defensive IQ is like my thing. But like I'll get my top 10 quickly.
Mm,
Garrett, Micah, my boy Max,
mm,
Will Anderson. Will
mm.
Anderson just because of the impact for his team.
Yeah. And you can lie. You
Aiden
can,
Hutchinson.
yeah.
All right, you ready for this?
Mm,
Josh Allen, Verse, TJ
mm,
Watt,
mm. Where are you at? 7,
Nick Bosa.
8.
Where the fuck did that guy just go? Daniel Hunter.
Daniel, yeah.
I've always liked Daniel Hunter. Khalil Mack still. No, fuck that. Brian Burns.
Yeah.
I'm moving Brian Burns.
I was like,
if you, 9.
in my opinion, if you don't have Brian Burns at least in your top 10, he doesn't need to be. He could be
Brian
10.
Burns. Honestly, I'm moving to 8. Everyone else is getting bumped down one. So Daniel Hunter's my 10, and that puts.
Like he hasn't. Like Brian Burns hasn't been a double-digit sack getter his entire season. So his rookie year he had 7.5. His second year in the league he had 9. His third year in the league he had 9. His fourth year in the league he had 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then his fifth year in the league, his last year with Carolina when he was on the franchise tag, he had 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then they traded him. I thought they should have traded him after 12.5 because the Rams said, we'll
More
give you
value.
2 firsts. Well, the Rams were like, we'll give you 2 firsts. And I was like, how do you
Then
not
we have Aaron Donald.
Well, because the draft, we would have had the 2 first-round picks in where the drafts, the Rams got Jared Verse. Like, you could have easily just went,
just replace
great.
bro immediately.
Like, great,
But
replace him. Or you
I
trade up and get whoever.
My next year top 5 is going to look a lot different.
Mm.
I think it's going to be Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, Max Crosby at 3. I feel like Max Crosby until he genuinely
depends on where he
falls
goes. Depends on where he goes. Because
I think Max Crosby will stay.
no, I think he's leaving.
I
mean, it depends on who they get.
Staying.
Like, it depends on who the coach
is. He's staying, but
no. I think it's on coach. I don't think it's quarterback. I think the Raiders pissed him off by going, "We're not playing you because we're tanking for draft position."
Yes,
and he's one of those players.
I remember seeing that.
He's one of those players that you cannot go, "We're not playing you."
Yeah, he's like, I want to play. He's young
play.
too, isn't he? He's not 30 yet.
I think he's 28.
Yeah, he's not even 30 yet. So I'm gonna lock Max Crosby in at my 3 for like the next 2 to 3 years, honestly. Then it's going to be the fuck is his name? I'm brain farting. Will Anderson. Will Anderson at 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Mike at 5. Nick Bosa 6. Who the fuck was it? Jared Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Burns 8. Actually, I might put Brian Burns 8, Abdul Carter 9, and then Daniel Hunter 10.
I have to look at next season because I think there's definitely some rookies in this class who could easily shoot up there just purely based off speed and talent.
I think Abdul Carter is going to develop into one of the best edge rushers in the league.
They got to get rid of Kayvon Thibodeau.
There's no reason
to finish off the show and the edge rusher talk. The Giants have.
I trade him in my Giants franchise. You get so much for him.
I would trade
$14 million
because he's what 24, 25, and you
24.
have a log jam at edge rusher, and the one guy sitting behind him who's now playing middle linebacker in Abdul Carter is better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Just flat out better than him.
You can move him from middle linebacker to edge.
You don't
need him, and he's too much money. He's too much money to be sitting on your bench like that.
Trade him because I think he's in a contract here too.
Defense, yes, and you have other places to look at on your team for like help, like offensive line and corner.
Yeah, because they picked up his 5th year, and I think he's in his 5th year, or if not, it's his contract year.
It's his contract year this upcoming season. I only know that because of batting.
Yeah. you kind of have to get rid of them. But
I do trade him every time I do.
Oh, there are guys. Yeah, there's always a couple guys that go, I'm getting rid of
him. Scadaboo and Wandale Robinson are all gone on my team. Same with Jackson Dart. He sucks in that game.
Oh yeah, because he's not accurate.
They don't have his throw power high enough.
Well, they haven't. Finish off just quickly on Madden. I need them to update to the wild card because I tried to do it myself. Like I tried to put the wins losses and they screwed up the pick because the Panthers didn't make the playoffs. They were picking at 16 instead of 19. And I went, this is stupid. Because the Madden doesn't do the tiebreakers. It just won't register the tiebreakers at all. It's weird. Anyway, well, I think that's going to do it for us.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of ground there.
Yep.
We did playoffs,
rebuilding teams, draft talk, college football talk,
NCAA, NIL, edge rushers,
the
New York Jets,
the New York Jets, and how bad they are. I think, well, yeah, for episode 0, we're hoping to get a couple more potential co-hosts. We have some guys in the league, but
I would rather be a Browns fan than a New York Jets fan.
I work with a New York Jets fan.
Out of 10.
I work with a Jets fan, and I watched him on the trade deadline. I watched him get the news about Quinn and Sauce, and he goes, "If they trade Brees, you're going to watch me stab myself with a knife." And I went, "Okay."
That's my back to trade Brees. Get more
trade Brees. I want to see. I want the day off. Give me the week off.
Fuck this, dude. Trade everybody.
Yeah.
Clear your house.
Right.
But we talked. I think Cliff Kingsbury, Browns, good. Giants, a little bit.
You need an offensive mind. Giants, I think, got the head coach. I don't think Tomlin. I think Tomlin's coming next year because he's still under contract one more year for the Steelers.
Micah Parsons, edge rushers. That's going to be, with me, you're going to hear me talk about defense a lot. Linebacker and defensive line. I'll talk corners a little bit. I'm not a big safety guy.
I got safeties.
You got safeties. I'm a little bit of a corner guy. I got the box down to the T.
You know what you need for safety? You need one slick white boy and then a really tall black guy. And you're good.
Grant Delpit's that really tall black guy on my franchise.
You call some reblanking, exciting whites. Anyway, thank you, Footy, for joining us.
Of course.
See ya whenever.
Yeah, literally, whenever we do.
Whenever I'm feeling the itch. Hey, what's going on? But yeah, anyway, have a good night.
You too, brother. I'll talk to you.
Talk to you.